Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. It is international break with a lot of players that officially left La Continassa to join their respective national team, otherwise stayed at Juventus. Also some surprisingly remained at Juventus. I want to speak about La Nazionale at the end of the video because Mancini used big words to describe the Italian moment with some clubs that are not offering him a lot of options. Well, my question is, can we blame also Roberto Mancini himself, because is he putting himself in big problems? Something we will talk about at the end of the video. I want to come back on the medical condition of Federico Chiesa, but the big topic of the video will be the trident in the midfield. Continuità, the continuity with Adrien Rabiot that is opening for a stay at Juventus also in the next following seasons. Fagioli, the agent, today used a big, bold word, speaking about he can become a symbol of Juventus in the future. Attenzione, big words, big expectation on the number 44. And then, of course, Manuel Locatelli that is there, ready to play everywhere with his Juventinità. I want to thank once more Manuel that yesterday was super available. If you speak Italian, go on Twitch TV Juventus because you see the full interview. But if you don't, I made a recap translated on this channel, a video of 12-13 minutes with the highlights, with the big moments and the important things that is said. Manuel Locatelli, thank you again, because it is not, we don't have to take these things for granted. Yesterday was his day off and he has a newborn at home. So thank you, because he really wanted to share his moments, his stout with us Juventini. Thank you again. Before starting, speaking about the tiers of Interisti, speaking about our midfield, let me say thank you to Youssef, because Youssef in the Telegram group, he said, Beppe, maybe you don't know, but yesterday it was Persian New Year. So I really wanted to say Happy Nowruz, and I hope I pronounce it really well. Excuse me if I don't. I didn't know. I discovered things thanks to Youssef, so really thank you. And hopefully, guys, you are celebrating a great New Year also for you, because I know that we have Persian Juventini on the channel. We start after you, if you want to, putting a maximum of like. We are 24,100. We are going with the goal, road to 25. That would be amazing, but it's just you that decide if yes or no you want to subscribe. Tutto Sport, they are opening with what has been the topic of the last days in Italy, the referees, or at least the ex-referees that are speaking on television, on papers and so on, and they're nearly 95% of them all agree that the goal of Kostic after the triple handball was to be allowed. So the referees are taking part of Juve. Imagine what we are living, what world we are living. Why? Because if the first one of Rabiot is not a handball, we have no images that are clear enough to say that he touched it. The one of Vlahovic is absolutely not a handball because the arm is like this, side to the body. The third image with Vlahovic taking that ball with him probably is a handball, but these images were given to the televisions probably 2 hours after the game. Can we discuss about that last one? Yes. Can we discuss about the first one? No. All the referees are saying no, absolutely not. Anyway, this is a case that I want to close because we already spoke about it too much. Gazzetta dello Sport is giving me actually, again, really feelings of being happy to be Juventino in that moment, because that victory of 2 days ago against Inter was important. First of all, because it's a Derby d'Italia, and it's always important. Derby d'Italia in Serie A, in Champions League, in Coppa Italia, but even, you know, in the Trofeo Berlusconi in the beginning of the season, like a few years ago. You play versus Inter, you want to win. But before an international break, it's even more important, because the 2 following weeks on media, they will speak only about the atmosphere in the club. If you lose or if we lost, it would have been a total disaster. Juventus would be on the first page with a lot of question marks, doubts and so on. This one out, this one out. And now it's Inter on the front pages with a question on everyone, starting with the coach, but also with a team that could be out of Inter in the next season. Gazzetta dello Sport is saying un Inter in uscita, a total Inter seeing exit. In the double page, they are saying Inter fuori tutti, Inter all out, everyone out. Looks, I'm super happy. I'm super happy to be Juventino, because you know how much I am allergic to the word out. Allegri out, Moiskin out, Milik out, Vlahovic out, management out, whatever out. You know how much I dislike that word? Well, imagine me this morning opening the papers and saying Juve, everyone out. Mamma mia. It would be a disaster. I stopped doing video for at least 1 week. But if they are in that negative spiral, and you know how much I am happy that that Inter is a negative spiral. Well, after 9 losses in Serie A, it was at least that they were in that tornado. Juventus, they are changing. The atmosphere is changing in La Continassa, but also in the supporters. Because if a few weeks ago, we were all with out, now we are maybe thinking about in, maybe you also in, maybe you in. We start with Adrien Rabiot. Rabiot, coppe e denari. Rabiot, cups and money, described by La Gazzetta dello Sport. Why? Because apparently, Rabiot, there is the door that is starting to be a bit more open. Why? For him, remaining at Juventus also the next few seasons. What is important for Rabiot? That he didn't say no to Juve. He loves to be in Torino. He loves the club. He loves the coach, Massimiliano Allegri, that gave him trust and also make him grow even better and even more. He's now a real pillar of Juventus. At the beginning of the season, he said in an interview that he felt that he was a leader of that Juventus. We were all mocking him. I believe that with facts he's showing it. But he also said that what is important for him is to play Champions League. CFO of Juve, Calvo, said it. Yes, we want to continue with Adrien Rabiot. He's in our plans, but of course, like he said himself, we will have to wait at the end. The verdict, but also where Juventus will play next year, in what competition. It would be a beautiful sign. I believe that a lot of Juventini are already changing their mind. In the beginning of the season, nobody would have expected Rabiot to play like that. A lot of people wanted, after him saying no to Manchester United, to not play a single second on the field with Juve. They wanted to see him in the stands. Well, luckily, things are evolving. Luckily, things are changing, but not because the weather is better or not. Because of the performance of the field, the answers. Now, speaking about money, a lot of people will say 10 million is way too much. Well, 10 million, split it in 8 plus 2 is the same salary as Paul Pogba. Additional information to that, at the moment, Adrien Rabiot is having 7 plus 2. 7 plus 2 is 9. If you add it 1 more million, well, there is not a lot of difference. It looks like it's a lot, but it's not true. So pay attention to how you read that salary. My question to you, would you renew Adrien Rabiot for 8 plus 2? I do it. I do it without any hesitation. Speaking about another midfielder, mamma mia, Nicolo Fagioli. Nicolo Fagioli, I already praised him yesterday. But guys, what a performance versus Inter. That maturity, the skills, that touch of class. The agent today, he said, well, Andrea D'Amico, he said he can become a symbol of Juventus. This is his objective. He earned a spot with so many champions. In the summer, they received a lot of offers, a lot of requests, but Andrea D'Amico, his agent, he told him, stay at Juve because I'm sure that you will do well. Difficult first part of the season for Nicolo Fagioli. It was not an easy one. He was on the bench. He was nearly not playing. He was a bit sad. Then being ready at the right moment. Because as Locatelli told me yesterday live, I asked him how important is it. I was speaking about Gatti. How important is it to be ready at the right time? And I was also speaking about him being ready for the Nazionale in Euro 2021. He said it's super important that mentally you're ready because your moment can come at any minute. And this is what Fagioli did, being ready to enter versus Lecce at the second half and changing the destiny of Juve in that game, but also from his future. Nicolo Fagioli, Juventino since a kid. He is representing everything. We want the youth, the beautiful perspective of a much better Juventus in the future. Andrea D'Amico, I don't believe he's wrong when he's using the word symbol. Of course, calma, tranquilli, he will have some beautiful peak moments, he will have some flop moments, but he's one that we have to stay next to him. So I totally agree. I'm curious about your opinion. What about him? And then if we finish with that trio, I told you, consistency. It's not a mystery that our midfield, for the first time, we are not criticizing them too much because we give continuity in a complementary midfield. The defensive strength of Rabiot, but also his run, carrying the ball, going up, the contribution that he's giving with some goals. Fagioli, that is that touch of class, that is able to not take care too much about the defensive side, but thinking creatively upstairs or up in the field, offensively, linking, being there, smart, tactically as well. That brief of joy, that surprise effect of, and also that joy of having a young kid on the field. And then you have Manuel Locatelli with his fantastic heat maps. He's everywhere. He's paying attention when Rabiot is going up. He's paying attention when Fajoli is not there. He's covering left, right. He can do whatever he wants. And this is just something totally fantastic. So Manuel Locatelli, again, I don't want to repeat everything he said. I want to thank him for his human side. Tuttosport, big page about him and his interview of Twitch. Again, I don't need to read it. They saved me time because I was there next to him and it is a honor, really. I'm asking myself, the only question I have, I didn't ask him, is, are you following GJustjuve on YouTube? Because yesterday he liked also my post without me mentioning him. So maybe somewhere there, Manuel Locatelli is a subscriber of GJustjuve. So I remind you, also you subscribe to the channel, put the notification ring on. We finish with another topic. Fate I conti con la Juve. Don't rule Juventus out. 15 back or not, who cares? No, who cares? We care, of course, but Corriere dello Sport is saying, who cares? Juventus has an average points per victory that is giving them the belief to dream about qualifying to the top 4 without speaking about the trial. Can we do it? Yes. How? Cuore e passione, heart and passion. Allegri found back the DNA of the players and Juventus. Yesterday, Buffon spoke to Bobo TV. Bobo TV is on Twitch with Bobo Vieri, with Adani, with Cassano. With Cassano, for example, they are leading it and they are speaking about Serie A, about football in general. Yesterday they had a super guest in Gianluigi Buffon that was super open. He spoke about a lot of things. I don't report everything because I didn't hear it myself. And you know that I like in first person to hear the words before starting to translate from a translation and not reporting the exact things. But he said something that I heard in a cut video about Allegri. He said, well, Allegri is not one that is doing catenaccio. It's not one that is parking the bus. He's giving a lot of interpretation, a lot of flexibility, a lot of freedom to their players. He's not one that is breaking the balls of players. He's not one that is looking for excuses. Injuries, he's never talking about it. He's not taking that as an excuse of players. He's not speaking about a referee decision, pro or against, not in front of the microphones, but also not in the locker rooms. He's not using excuses to cry. He's speaking about what we have to do. And that's a really beautiful message from Buffon. He spoke as well about the moment of Juventus. He said, look, they are in difficulty, yes, but Juventus is reacting in the exact right way, being compact and united to face the injustice that they have. I will speak more about Buffon and the words about Paris Saint-Germain, a beautiful experience in his life, probably in a life when I see you. And I finish with Mancini that spoke about the rebirth or the birth of Italian football back. He said, attenzione, and on that one I agree with him. He said, no, the Serie A clubs maybe, but not of Italian players, because in the 3 teams that arrived at the quarterfinal, only 6 or 7 players are Italian. So the Italian movement is not giving me a lot of possibility to pick great players. There is a deficit and it starts to be really, really difficult. He asked himself also, there is Gnonto. Why Gnonto has not been signed by any player? Well, Mancini, you coached in Premier League. If you're asking yourself how is it possible that a player is going to Premier League and not to Serie A, maybe you have to rethink. And also, when you're complaining about the fact that Italian clubs are not giving you enough Italian players, well, the question is, why are you not calling up a Locatelli? Why are you not calling up a Fagioli? Why are you not calling up a Perin? If you call only 2 players, Leonardo Bonucci and Chiesa, well, maybe you're looking for problems yourself. Leonardo Bonucci that is injured, he will play, he will get injured again, and you will send him back. Chiesa, we all knew he was not even playing with Juve, so I don't understand why the informed players that you have. But also, if we are speaking about other players, Zaccagni, if you are speaking about Cambiaso, that now was injured, but he was not in that list, maybe you are looking for a problem yourself. So who is leaving? Leonardo Bonucci for Italy, Szczesny, we have Adrien Rabiot, Angel Di Maria and Paredes, Vlahovic and Kostic, we have Gleison Bremer, Nicolo Fagioli will leave, but for the under-21, not for the first team. Miretti was called up, but because of that small injury, he will remain in La Continassa. Great, I'm happy for that. And then you have Kenan Yildiz, Samuel Ealing Jr., Della Valle, Luis Haza, that will go, both of them with the Italian under-19, Jacob Rui, Bangula, Nongue, you know, my boy, under-18 of Belgium, Lorenzo, Bilibok, and Bufandar with Morocco from the under-17. Guys, I just wanted to finish with the beautiful thing that Juventus next-gen under-17 are doing. Today you have a Kenan Yildiz, today you have a Samuel Ealing Jr., and who knows who will go there in the future, that are already in important national teams of youth. Soon they will be world-class players, and Juventus, they beat they beat everyone. They are working on Italian football with the Fagioli, with Miretti, with Luis Haza, with so many players, but also internationally. And when you have these international players that are ready to join a youth project, that means that things are going the right way. A long video, I was absolutely not expecting it. Thank you for following. Grazie, forza, Juve.